Lemoncello's Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. Chapter 23. Kyle flipped over his lemon-scented super-duper bonus card and read what was written on the other side. You will find the ultimate version of this board game on the second-floor balcony circling the rotunda. Huh? Said Kimmy. What does that mean? I don't know. Let's roll out the paper and see. Kimmy and Sierra helped Kyle anchor the edges of the scroll onto the tiled floor. Okay, said Kyle. Looks like the early sketch for a board game. See the circle in the center of the other circle? That's probably where you place the spinner. Move the other pieces around the 10 rooms. He stopped. Wait a second. What? Said Kimmy. Do you recognize the game? Said Sierra. Yep. Played it this week with my brother Curtis. It's Mr. Lemoncello's bewildering, baffling bibliomania. Takes place in a make-believe library. What about finding the ultimate version up on the second-floor balcony? Said Sierra. Kyle grinned. You'll see. Coming up from the basement, Kyle saw Andrew Peckelman in the middle of the rotunda reading room, opening a long metal box sitting on top of the center desk. The holographic image of Miss Tobin was there, smiling patiently as Peckelman pulled some kind of magazine out of the box. Miguel was also near the librarian's desk, apparently waiting his turn for a consultation. That's the box we saw the robot pluck off the shelf, whispered Kimmy. Kyle nodded. He motioned for the others to follow him and slipped around the circumference of the rotunda. Kimmy and Sierra slunk after him. In the shadows on the far side of the room, they saw Haley Daly heading for the staircase they'd just come up, the steps that would take her back to the basement. Kyle wondered if she found something else to crawl through. If so, he hoped it was bigger than a mailbox. Is this the real magazine? He heard Peckelman shout at the hologram. Yes, Andrew. This concludes your librarian consultation. Next, how may I help you, Miguel? Not so fast, snapped Andrew. I'm not done. Your consultation just concluded, said Miguel. Says who? The librarian. Miguel, said the hologram, Miss Tobin. What is your question? Sorry, bro, I told you. She's just like Miss Youngest at school, snapped Peckelman. All the librarians like you better than me. Yo, ease up. You'll see, Miss Tobin. You'll all see. I'm gonna beat Miguel Fernandez big time. When I win, I'm gonna tell Mr. Lemoncello to fire you. She's the hologram, said Miguel with a laugh. You can't fire someone who doesn't actually exist. Then I'll tell Lemoncello to pull her plug. Peckelman grabbed his magazine and stormed out of the rotunda into the lobby. Guess Andrew's planning on doing something with the front door, Kyle whispered to Kimmy. Well, that's totally dumb. They already told us the way out isn't the way we came in. Maybe Andrew doesn't think Dr. Z was telling us the truth, suggested Sierra. Come on, said Kyle, leading his team towards the closest staircase up to the second floor. Glancing over his shoulder, he watched Miguel place a slip of paper on the table in front of the semi-translucent librarian. This item has been temporarily removed from the stacks, Miguel, said Miss Tillman. You will find it in a display case next to the original Winkle and Grimble scale model. Let me give you that location. There was a grinding sound, like when movie tickets shoot up through the slot at the box office. Miguel snatched a small square of paper that popped up from the librarian's desk and spun around. He froze an instant. He saw Kyle, Kimmy, and Sierra sneaking around the room behind him. Hey, said Miguel, holding the tiny square of paper behind his back. Yo, said Kyle. What's up? Nothing. Just, working the puzzle. Yeah, us too. Okay, later. Both boys thumped their fists on their chests like baseball players do. Miguel turned and ran for a staircase winding up to the second floor. Come on, you guys, said Kyle as he took off running up a different set of steps. When Kimmy, Kyle, and Sierra made it to the balcony, they watched Miguel run up to the third floor. As soon as he disappeared in his room up there, Kyle unrolled the game sketch. Look at the drawing and look down at the floor. They're the same. Exactly a circular room with a round desk at the center of that circle. Awesome, said Kimmy, and there are 10 doors ringed around the balcony up here on the second floor, just like on the board game. Kyle tapped the rendering of the spinner at the right-handed corner of the game plan. See how the spinner is divided into 10 different colored sections numbered 0 to 9? It looks like the Wonder Dome, said Kimmy, when it's not doing its kaleidoscopy thing or running a video that makes you think the building is hand gliding across Alaska, which totally made me airsick. Well, in the game, you have to go into all 10 Dewey Decimal book rooms to answer a trivia question about a book. If you answer correctly, you'll slip a book into your bookshelf and move on to another part of the library. When you have 10 books, one from each room, it's basically a race to see who can exit the library first. Okay, said Kimmy Sam Pump. This is good. This is major. Except one thing's missing, said Kyle. What? Said Sierra. Mr. Lemoncello always works a clever backdoor shortcut into games. For instance, in Family Frenzy, you can use the coal chute to slide into the millionaire's mansion at the end, said Kimmy. Exactly. And in that castle game, Charles snuck out through the sewers. Anyway, when my brother Curtis beat me at Bibliomania, you lost? Hammy acted surprised. Happens, occasionally, but only because Curtis used a shortcut. Kyle tapped a black square on the game diagram. It took him straight out of the street. He beat me by one spin of the spinners. I don't see any black squares on the floor of our rotunda, said Kimmy. Maybe, said Sierra. For this new game, Mr. Lemoncello put secret squares someplace inside the main room. Kyle nodded. And maybe to win this new game, we need to play the old one. You're a genius, said Kimmy. No, my brother Curtis is the genius. I just like to play games. So do libraries even have board games? Sure, says Sierra. I mean the library in my dad's town has them. Which department, said Kimmy, pulling out her floor plan. Young adult. Kimmy tapped her map. 3rd floor, stairs over there. Let's go, said Kyle. Before they could take off, they heard Mr. Lemoncello's voice echoing in the rotunda. Are you ready for your extreme challenge, Bridget? Kyle and his teammates peered over the ledge of the balcony. Bridget Wadge was alone in front of the librarian desk, staring at the ceiling. Yes, sir, she said. Are you sure? Mr. Lemoncello's voice boomed out of the hidden speakers. You still have 22 hours to find the exit. I want to go for it now, sir. Get a jump on everybody else. Very well, Dr. Z, reset the statues. The 10 holographic statues in their recessed nooks flickered off, leaving black and empty spaces. This extreme challenge is based on the classic game of Author Guard game. Here are the authors on your deck. Magically, new holographic statues appeared as Mr. Lemoncello rattled off the authors' names. Charles Dickens, Raymond Chandler, Edgar Allan Poe, Agatha Christie, Patricia Highsmith, Mario Puzo, Frederick Forsyth, John Le Carre, Dashiell Hammett, and Fyodor Dostoevsky. He wrote Crime and Punishment, said Bridget excitedly. Indeed he did. In fact, all those authors wrote crime novels. Correct again. However, that's the easy part. Dr. Z? How do we make the author's game ridiculously difficult enough to qualify as an extreme challenge? Simple, the librarian's voice echoed over the dome. You will have 2 minutes, Bridget, to name 4 books written by each of our authors. God, that's impossible, he whispered. Not really, said Sierra. She was about to start rattling off tiles when Mr. Lemoncello said, Go! The sound of a ticking clock reverberated through the room. Okay, said Bridget down on the main floor. Agatha Christie. Murder on the Orient Express, 10 Little Indians, Death on the Nile, The Mousetrap. Somewhere a bell dinged, and Birch lay in his sensible shoes disappeared. Poe, The Murders in Rue Morgue, The Mask of the Red Death, The Purloined Letter, The Case of Amontillado. Another ding. Another statue vanished. Bridget kept going. Man, whispered Kyle. What grade is she in? College? 7th, said Kimmy, just like us. Bridget Wadge kept tearing through the authors. The bell kept dinging, but the clock kept ticking too. 10 seconds. Bridget had saved the worst for last. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Crime and Punishment. Crime and Punishment, and then, well, Brothers, and then she stopped. She'd run out of guess. Buzzer sounded. I'm sorry, Bridget. But as we advise you, the extreme challenges are extremely difficult. You will be going home with lovely party gifts. Kindly hand your library card to Clarence, and thank you for playing Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. That settles it, muttered Kyle. I'm never, ever asking for one of those extreme challenge dealios. Me neither, said Kimmy. I might, said Sierra. Maybe. Then she showed Kyle and Kimmy the rumpled sheet of paper where she had written down 5 book titles for all 10 authors. Kimmy grabbed the door handle to the young adult room. It's locked. Here, said Sierra. Use my library card. Your books are on the back are different, too. I think they all are. I got the Egypt game and the resting game. What 2 books about? Games? Sweet. Kimmy slipped Sierra's card in the reader slot above the doorknob. The door clicked. Kyle pushed it open. The walls of the young adult room were painted purple and yellow. There were swirly zebra print rugs on the floor and lumpy cluster of beanbags. A couple of sofas were designed to look like Scrabble trays with letter-squared pillows. Kimmy nodded, nudged Kyle in the ribs. Check it out. In the far corner stood a carnival ticket booth with mechanical dummy seat inside. A fun and games banner hung off the booth's striped roof. Dummy inside the glass booth? He looked like Mr. Lemoncello. He wasn't wearing a turban, but Mr. Lemoncello mannequin reminded Kyle of the Zoltor Speaks fortune teller booths he'd seen in video game arcades. That's not really him, is it? Said Kimmy, who was right behind Kyle. No, it's a mechanical doll. The frozen automaton was dressed in a black top hat and a bright red ringmaster jacket. Since the booth had the fun and games banner, Kyle figured you might have to talk to the dummy to get a game. Hello, he said. We'd like to play a board game. Bells rang, whistles whistled, and chaser lights blinked. Mechanical Mr. Lemoncello jostled to life. If you want to play a game, just say its name. The life-size puppet's blocky jaw flapped open and shut, almost in sync with the words. Do you have Mr. Lemoncello's bewildering, baffling bibliomania? Did Joey Pigsa lose control? Was Ella enchanted? Just say yes, suggested Sierra. Yes, said Kyle. Well, great Gilly Hopkins, said the Lemoncello dummy. Here you go. Kyle heard some mechanical noises and some whirring. Then with a clunk, a wide slot popped open in front of the booth and the game box slid out. Joey, said the dummy, and remember, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. So be sure to read instructions so you'll know how to play the game. Kyle took the box to the table. Okay, said Raisin Lad, let's set it up, and there was a beep and the door opened. Where is he? Andrew Peckelman barged in the room, waving his antique magazine, something called Popular Science Monthly. Who are you looking for, said Kyle. Mr. Lemoncello, I heard him. Is he in here? Kyle pointed towards the frozen Lemoncello doll sitting in the Carney booth. It's a dummy. Peckelman whipped his head from side to side. Is there a camera in here? Right over the door. Peckelman spun around to face it. Kyle, Kimmy, and Sierra formed a human shield to hide their bibliomania box. I want to use a second lifeline, Peckelman shouted at the camera. I want to talk to an expert. Very well, said a calm voice Kyle Lee recognized as belonging to Dr. Z. With whom do you wish to speak? The guy who wrote the stupid magazine article about cracking up in bank vaults in the 1930s. I'm afraid we cannot arrange that for you, Andrew. Why not? The guy's a moron. He didn't tell me anything about how to open the front doors, which is what my Google search said this magazine would do. We told you the way out isn't the way in. That was just a red herring, a trick to throw us off course. No, Andrew, it was not. What is the title of the article? Newest bank vaults defy the cracksmen. Ah, well, that should have been a hint. Apparently the reporter concluded that thieves could not break open the vault doors. When doing internet research, it's important to let me talk to the stupid idiot. I'm sorry, the magazine was published in 1936. The reporter is dead. Well, then, I want to talk to Mr. Lemoncello. Excuse me? I want to talk to Mr. Lemoncello. That's highly irregular. And so's this game. You people have it rigged, so Miguel Fernandez will win. I know you do. That's why Mr. Lemoncello is afraid to talk to me. Kyle heard the carnival booth dummy clatter back to life. Hello, Andrew. How may I help you? This Lemoncello didn't sound pre-recorded. Apparently the real deal was using the dummy to do his talking. Your library stinks, shouted Peckelman. Oh dear, have you boys been playing that castle sewer game again? No, but this stupid article should have given me that stupid answer, but the stupid writer didn't write what he should have written. I see, and can you rephrase that in the form of a question? How many can I ask you? Just one, and then we're done. Okay, you're the expert on the stupid new library game, so where's the favorite contestant? Where's McGill? Is that your final question? Yes. Assuming our video monitors are correct, Mr. Fernandez is on the other side of the third floor doing research in the Arts and Artifacts room. Thanks. Andrew bolted out the door. Lemoncello puppet bucked and drooped into its off mode. Kyle sprang up from the table. Come on, he said to Kimmy and Sierra. Kimmy sighed. Now where are we going? To make sure Peckelman doesn't do something stupid that gets Miguel kicked out of the game. Why would we do that? Because Miguel's our friend. Kimmy glanced at the floor plan. Art and Artifacts room is on the other side of the circle. Sierra, stay here and guard the game box. Come on, Kimmy. Kyle and Kimmy looked through the third-floor balcony to the other side. Kyle glanced at his watch. It was almost 3 p.m. They really needed to start focusing on the game and not all this other monkey junk. They neared the Art and Artifacts room. There was a shout. The door flew open. Andrew Peckelman came running out. Behind him were a woman with her head and tail of a lioness and a pharaoh in a cobra headpiece. Pharaoh stopped. May onions grow in your earwax, and a series of holographic hieroglyphics danced across the air. Andrew Peckelman raced down the staircase, grabbed both handrails, and hurried down to the second floor. The Egyptians vanished. Kyle and Kimmy entered the Art and Artifacts room and found Miguel seated at a desk with what looked like a blueprint. You okay? Said Kyle. Yeah, man, I'm fine, thanks. Those guys chased Andrew. Where'd they come from? Holograms from the giant Lego Sphinx and Pyramid exhibit. So why'd they turn on Andrew? I don't know. One minute he's yelling at me, the next the Pharaoh and Sekhmet are yelling at him. Sekha who? Sekhmet, said Akimi, the Egyptian lion goddess and warrior. Haven't you read The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan? It's on my list, said Kyle. Or it would need to be. He definitely needed to start a reading list as soon as he could catch up with everybody. I bet security guards in the control room fired up the Egyptian holograms when they saw Andrew being berserk in here, said Kimmy. Good, said Miguel. A library is supposed to be a place for peaceful contemplation. That was when Sierra Russell rushed in the room. You guys, after you left, Mr. Lemoncello dummy spit out a bonus card.